Hello and welcome back. Today I'm gonna just go to my little bushcraft camp and set up a little camp, and it is raining a little bit, so we're gonna put a tarp up. We're gonna cook some food. I've got a ration pack from Preppers Shop UK, which isn't a full ration pack, but it's just a part ration pack, and it came in an ammo can, so I thought it was pretty funky. And I use the ammo can for like storing my some knives and stuff and whatever. So yeah, and I'm just gonna have that and then do some bushcrafty stuff as well. So just going up to camp now. I'm going to swing the left just off this track, just here, and then we're going to come in. This was all high with stingers and Cape parsley last month, but it's all started to die down now. Where I normally come and camp, which is down here around to the right, over the last couple of months there has been a bee's nest underground right next to where my fire pit is and where the chopping block is. Well, yeah, and the sawhorse, and I got stung a few weeks ago when I was coming to do a video, and it really put me off. I think they're still here, but the entrances are basically, that's an entrance just there, and the other one, as you can see, here's camp, and the other entrance, and actually they've dug more. There's one, where are we? There. There's one here. So, unfortunately, because of this, I've just moved a little bit further down, which they don't really come over there, and they haven't really bothered me. But that must be a decent size kind of hive if they've got all the way from over there, all the way to here. Can't actually see any at the moment coming out, but I guarantee I give it 5 minutes after I've been here and they're all out, all over me. So yeah, so let's go and set up camp. So I've kind of made a new little area just here. It's not as hidden as I'd like really, but you still can't see it from the track. So I've got my little block there for doing some fire lighting and so on. So you still can't see it from the track. But yeah, so I'm going to set up a little bit of a shelter, get my chair ready, get a cup of tea on. Okay, so I've just set up camp for the afternoon. So I've got my one Tigris chair, my 2x2 meter DD tarp. I find this one's good for a couple of hours out, going out for a little hike, just to keep the rain off if it rains. I have got the 3x3, which I use when I was going to sleep under it, but I just think the 3x3 is a bit big for just a couple of hours out. I've also got a different day sack today, which I've had since I was about 18 years old, which I'll go through that in a bit. But I'm going to get a brew on, and then yeah, start discussing the food, what I've got today this afternoon. Okay, so fire maple billy pot is on for a brew, and this day sack, I just thought just to quickly go through it. So this is a Northern Ireland day sack, British Army issue. It was a DPM colour, but I have sprayed it with some green paint, so yeah, I can use it a bit more just as a civilian bag or a bushcraft bag. So it's around about 35 litres. You've got two decent sized side pouches which will easily hold 2 1 litre Nalgene water bottles. There's a lid at the top with 2 pockets. So there's one pocket just here and there's another one just underneath. And then you lift it open and basically it's just a big hole which you can put all your kit in. The straps on the back, I have to be honest, they're not the most comfortable straps, but they do their job. It does come with a waist strap or hip strap, which I've just wrapped around because I don't really use it. It has got a few little bits of kind of webbing on the front. I've just put some bungee cord in there just to kind of just stick a jumper down there or a jacket when I'm out and about. As you can see, I haven't sprayed the inside of the lid, so it is still DPM. These day sacks, this is a 2006 one, and they last forever. They just don't break. They have got some padding on the back here, so stuff inside doesn't stick in your back. And I've had this since I was 18. I sold it, then brought it back because I loved it more than all the other kit when I was in the Army Cadets. And as I say, it's been with me years. It hasn't even showed signs of kind of wear and tear yet, really. So, but I've got loads of different day sacks, and this is kind of one of my favourite ones I always go back to. Okay, so just brought you in a little bit closer to go through what food, one of the parts of food I've got with me today. Kettle's almost spoiled. So this is, a lot of you know, British Army ration pack. As I say, I got this from Preppers Shop UK. It came in like an ammo can. There's a little deal they had on. Ammo can and this for X amount. So there's just 2 meals in here. All the brew kit, snackies and stuff like that are all in here. It's just a random kind of choice of stuff. It's not, you could select what you wanted. So there's enough there for like 24 hours. And then it didn't come from them, but this is the BCB Dragon Fuel kit from Cooker, from what the British Army use now. Basically it's just a gel that you light on fire and it burns for X amount of time. They're brilliant fire lighters, and they're just a decent cooker, little cooker as well. So they come in a pack, there's 6 in a pack, and then the cooker basically just folds out like so. I've got 3 in there ready to go. You've got a little back plate which has the outward on it, which goes at the back, and then basically you just fold down the sides, pop your block in there, and then your mess tin or whatever you're using to warm your meal up sits on top of the cooker. So we are going to use that to warm my food up today. So let's pop that to one side. So kettle's boiled, so I'll take that off now, and we're going to have a brew with something in the brew kit. So I'm going to quickly go through the actual contents, and then I'm going to have a cup of tea or a coffee out of here. Okay, so as I say, this is enough for 24 hours. So in the bag came two alcohol-free wipes, wiping hands, so on. Got hot chocolate chocolate flavoured high protein drink powder. So it's not hot chocolate, it's a protein powder. Got 2 energy drinks. So we got a peach iced tea and a grapefruit flavour. Pack of tissues for the obvious. Plastic spork. Some windproof matches. The main meal we've got is a Kashmiri potato curry, chocolate pudding in chocolate sauce, and then in the brew kit and a little bit of snackies, we've got a couple of tea bags, a couple of sugar, 3 sugar, 4 sugar, 4 sugar, a couple of whitener, so 4 whitener and 2 coffees. So you got enough there for 4 brews. You got chewing gum, 3 packs, 2 in each, and a plum fruit kind of packet. Okay, so I have had most of these things in the past. I was in the Army Cadets for 12 years, so I have had most of the food, the brew kits, and some of the brew kits can be naff, but I'm going to give it a go because this is a newer kit than I'm used to. So I'm going to go for a tea bag, 2 sugars, and I'm going to go for a whitener and we'll see how we got on. So I am going to get the food on soon because I am hungry, and we'll see how we go. So we'll leave a wipe out to wipe my hands. I am going to have both of the potato katsu kashmiri curry and the pudding, so I'm going to leave them out, and I might use the spork as well. So we'll get the cooker on in a minute, but brew wise I'm just going to use my orange mug. The tea bags do come with a little tab on it. 2 sugars, and then a whitener. Now, just some experience, whitener, tea bags, etc. isn't great out of these. Make sure you put all your rubbish away, don't leave anything blowing around. And then just going to let that steep for a few minutes. It ain't looking too bad, to be honest. It looks like a cup of tea. I like my tea strong, so I'm just going to leave that in for 5 minutes. Okay, so I've took the tea bag out, and generally I've tried it and it ain't too bad. They've got better over the years, the brew kit. So to cook these ration pack meals, as I say, we're going to use the BCB Dragon Fuel Gel Cooker. So basically, pop it in. Now this is the Dragon Fuel. It comes in a plastic container, so obviously you need to take it away with you. Peel off the one corner, take it off, and pop it into the tray in the middle, like so. Doesn't matter what tray round it is. Same again. Make sure probably don't put that in with your food, because it's probably not great to have that stuff, which does smell very alcoholic. So stash it away in your bag, so you know it's not going to blow away. So this will literally light with a lighter, but we need to do a bit of prep first. So these meals, they're designed to be warmed in the bag, if you don't know this. So best thing to do is get the meal all the way to the bottom. Now I've got quite a big billy can here, so it's fine. It'll fit in easily, but some of the mess tins that the British Army use, or a lot of people use jet boils, you'll have trouble fitting them in. But push all the meal to the bottom, pop the meal into whatever you're cooking your meal in, then top up the water so it's halfway up your meal, 2/3 away, even a little bit more, just so it warms the food through. So the food is already pre-cooked inside. All you're doing is warming it up. This can take for anything from 5 to 10 minutes, really. So I know that it'll fit in this my billy can quite easily. So I'm going to turn it over, put the lid on, and lock it on. Put my bail arm up so I can pick it up. And then I'm going to put it on the BCB cooker and let it cook for about 5 to 10 minutes after the water has boiled. Okay, so I'm just going to light up my little block, and hopefully you can see that that's flicking away now. Turn it round, and then just put your billy can or whatever you're cooking with on top, and hopefully the heat, if the wind's not too bad, it'll heat up and cook my food. So as I say, these ration packs are already pre-cooked in the actual sachet. All you're doing is warming it back through. What you may have to do is, part of the way through, is take the meal out, give it a bit of a squidge, move all the meal around, and then put it back in again, because obviously it's just warming from the outside in, so you want to give it a good mix. These should be, in normal weather conditions, enough for at least one kind of meal per block, but that's why I put 3 in, for maybe a cup of tea and warm a meal up, and then same another brew and a meal. So probably use 1 block for the main meal, and then another block for me pudding. Now, controversy over the years of cadets and so on. Can you use the water that you've got in there that you've had the meal in after to make a brew? Personally, yes. As long as the outside of the bag is clean, it's not covered in gunk or so ever. Me personally, I would. If you don't want to, that's up to you. But personally, I do. Okay, so I'm going to let the water warm up. Once it's boiling and the meal's warming, I'll bring you back so you can see. Okay, so the water is starting to warm up now, so I'm just going to take the meal out. So just be careful when you're doing this. Just hold on to your billy can or mess tins, whatever you're doing. So just take it out. It's not red hot. Give it a quick squidge around. And the same again. Drop it back in. And then lid back on. Push that on. It has gone to like a bit of a liquid now, the block, so hopefully that'll keep going. We've been on about 5-6 minutes so far. There is a little bit of wind in here, so the flame is jumping around a little bit, but it's not too bad. Hopefully this will be done in the next 5 minutes, because I'm getting a little bit hungry. And then we are going to have the chocolate pudding today. As I say, I normally put 3 blocks in it in the cooker if I'm going to bring it out and use it, because it is nice to use different cookers sometimes, different ways. The gel, I use a Trangia quite a lot. Not really a fan of gas because it makes a lot of noise, but for quick meals, when you're doing a wild camp or whatever, it's obviously it has its uses. So I just finished a cup of tea, and it weren't actually that bad, to be perfectly honest. It was quite all right. I'll have a coffee before I go, and we can see how that is as well. So I am just going to quickly unclip them. So we have got a bit of steam building up now, so we're going to leave that another maybe 5 minutes. Hopefully there's enough in the gel to warm it up. Okay, so the gel has just run out, and I think that's mainly to do with the wind that we've got today over here. You could put a windshield around this, which I definitely would if I use this again. I want to kind of use it as it was to see how it handled it, to be honest. As I say, I've used these in the past in cadets, but I used them once or twice to really show the cadets what they were. I never really used it myself, so I wanted to try and see how much you can get out of a block. So the first block, it did warm the water through, but it didn't boil it. So this second block will hopefully boil the water so I can warm my meal up. This is why you need to bring extra meals out with you, extra blocks out with you, because if you would have just brought one, you'd have had a lukewarm tea. So I'll bring you back once it's fully boiled, and hopefully it's boiled soon because I'm getting peckish. Okay, so it's been about another 5 minutes or so. Let me just check the block. So the block's still got some decent amount left in it. Take the lid off, and as you can see, we have got steam coming out now. So I'm just going to take it out, give it a squeeze. Let's feel how warm it is. It feels quite warm, so I'm just going to leave it in another couple of minutes. Then what I'm going to do is, once I'm eating that, I am going to throw the chocolate pudding in, so that can get warming as well. So same again, just give it a squeeze, push it all the way to the bottom, fold it in half, all the way to the bottom again. So I'm going to drop it in like that. So I've got them, so I'm going to use them. So I'm just going to give my hands a quick wipe with one of these antibacterial wipes. So as you can see, they're quite a decent size. So you can give your hands a good wipe. My hands are pretty disgusting because of work, so, but I am going to give them a wipe so they're nice and clean to eat. And same again, I will just throw this one back in the plastic bag because it doesn't really matter if it's in with the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to give that a couple more minutes just to warm through, and then I'm going to throw the chocolate pudding in. Okay, so that's warm enough for me. It's been in there a good while now, and it is starting to come to a boil. So I'll take my meal out, leave that there a sec, and I am going to throw in the chocolate pud. Try and push it down as far as it'll go. Pop the lid on. Now I like this lid because it does lock on, so if the meal is sticking out of it, you can just ram it in and put the lid on. But there's probably another couple of minutes in that block, so I'm going to just let it sit in that block for now, with that block in the hot water, and then I might put another block in once I'm finished. Okay. Okay, so it's food time. So as I said, this is the kamishuri potato curry. Never had this one. I've never had this one before, but with these packets, if you don't know, there's 2 slits at the top here, and you can pull it across and it will come off. If you've got a shorter spoon, because this one is designed to go in it, look, so it will get all the way to the bottom. You've got 2 options really. You can cut it off, eat a bit, and then just use your knife and cut a bit more off, or you can turn it on its side and give it a cut, but this is quite a small meal, so you might be worth just taking the lid off. So we're going to take the top off. Just give it a rip in either direction. Put your foot in the rubbish. And then, whoa. Now, as I say, I've never actually had this one before, but it looks very red. Whoa, that's very spicy. So there's the spud. You know what? It is. I'm not a massive fan of spicy, and it is quite spicy, but it ain't bad. It really ain't bad at all. I'll definitely have that again. I think it's missing some like rice or something. I could definitely do with some rice, which potentially it would have if you'd had it in the actual kind of ration box. But that didn't get to a full boil. It was just under a boil, and that is plenty warm enough. A lot, even, yeah, it's plenty warm enough. Can move you back to a touch. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So I'm going to finish this off because it is quite spicy. I'm going to finish this off, and then once the pud's done, I'll bring you back and show you the pud. Okay, so I finished that. It really was quite nice. And as I said about the spoon earlier, as you can see, this spoon, that's touching the bottom now. You've still got a bit of space. So you don't get it all nasty all over your fingers and stuff. But if you had a shorter spork, as I say, you could cut a bit off the top with your knife. Just to go back to the ration packs, they obviously have got a date on them. These, which came from that Prepper's Shop UK, this one is December 26, and the production date was 13th of December 23, so they have got a 3-year shelf life on them anyway. But this one is actually in date. On the internet, you can buy a lot of these that are out of date, and they cost a lot less. Now, it's up to you. I found some when I was having a sort out the other day from 2016, and I kind of threw them away because I think almost 9 years out of date is a little bit rough. But a couple of years, it's entirely up to you. I've had them a couple of years out of date, and they've been perfectly fine. They're sealed packets, as long as they haven't got a little hole or anything. If you do cook them and they're out of date, is have a little whiff. If something does smell off, normally it's smell that you can smell first. Okay, so I might put another block on for my hot chocolate pudding, and then I'll bring you back for that. Okay, so the pud's been in the water for about 5 minutes while I was talking. So it's been in hot water, so I think I'm just going to go for it. It feels quite warm on the outside, but with puddings and stuff, I'm not too bothered if they are red hot. So put that there so it doesn't blow away. So this one is actually slightly different from the one I'm used to. And if you'll be able to see, but they're individual little puds. I'm used to like the ones which are one big massive block of pud. So these, as you can see, they're like a little brown nugget. Not bad. Tastes exactly the same as the ones from years ago, to be perfectly honest. There is some sauce in the bottom, so you can get some sauce on one of them. The ones from years ago, which I used to have, they're quite dry in the middle, to be honest, and this is exactly the same. It's alright on the outside, but they're a bit chewy on the inside. And that, just sitting in the hot water for 10 minutes, is plenty warm enough. Look a bit of my hand. So this one, Feb 2027, this one. So, as I say, it ain't too bad. Would I eat them every day? No. But if you're going camping, wild camping, hiking, and you want nice, simple, easy meals, you can't beat a ration pack. The only issue is, as most people know, they are wet meals, i.e. they've got water in them. So they can be quite heavy if you're carrying 3-4 meals. If you want to go lightweight, you need the dehydrated ones, which British Army don't really do them, to be honest. But these are good enough. As I say, I know it's different to the Army because they live often for weeks at a time, but in the cadets, I've done them 4 days, and they're generally okay. Well, I'm going to finish this off, and then I think we'll crack on and do a little bit of bushcraft stuff. I'm going to cook some more food later. I've got spam and eggs. No, I've got spam and something else. Can't remember if I've brought the eggs. Just for a kind of a bit of a meal before I go home. So, because it is only 4:45 right now, but I've been at work for a few hours today, so I needed some food in me. So.